Hey guys, so today's video is about a few different things that I need to catch up on. Obviously, New Year, end of old year, I had to travel back from seeing family, and then New Year, and then it was all just not much time to do much. But now I'm starting the new year fresh, and I can actually get into filming videos and catching up and working. So, social media will be in the description along with anything else you want to find. Subscribe, hit that bell, like, comment for engagement, and let's just get into it. So, first story we have for today is something that I wanted to talk about, and it's the fact that Shane Dawson is just shading people on Ryland's podcast. If you guys don't know, obviously Ryland has his podcast, Shane edits the podcast and is a guest on there sometimes. He talks a bit on there, and that was his main outlet when he was cancelled and wasn't posting on his own channel. That was his main place where he would talk and get his opinions out there before he fully came back to the internet. And he's still kind of doing that. Whenever he has a somewhat more controversial opinion, it goes on that podcast versus his own social media. And he used to obviously post on Instagram stories as well before he started posting on his channel again. And now that he's back, he's posting on his channel, but still, some controversial opinions stay on this podcast, including this one. So he said that during his cancellation, there were a lot of people that turned their backs on him when he was being cancelled for the stuff that he was being cancelled for. They were smaller channels, or people he gave thumbnail ideas to, or people he gave video ideas to, people he gave advice to. And basically he was just oh, I'm never doing that again. I gave advice to those people for free, I didn't have to, and then they turned their backs on me when I was being cancelled. No one defended me. Now hear me out. I'm not making the comparison, but also it's a bit of a comparison. If you have friends with someone and they've helped you out, they did you favors, they gave you advice, they helped you at work, you owe them a little bit, right? But then you find out that they murdered someone. Do you still owe them? Because I personally don't think you do. At that point, I feel there's just some situations in which you're just look, you messed up, right? You're on your own now. For example, in that clip, I feel he's ever so slightly talking about me. I'm not feeling special, okay? Because he was probably talking about a lot of people. But I was one of those people. He found me when I was on 50,000 subs. I was a nobody. I was a somebody. I was a human being. But I was a small channel. He found me, he commented on my videos, he followed me on Instagram, he featured me in some of his series, he DM'd with me a bit, he gave me advice. But then I found out the things he did behind the scenes a few years ago, and I thought they were disgusting. And I'm not going to defend you, I'm going to actually call you out. Because as much as it's nice that you featured me in your series, and it's nice that you did what you did, but I would have grown regardless. I wasn't fully featured in his series, and I wasn't fully... I don't owe my career to Shane Dawson. So at this point, it's just kind of you messed up. You did a nice thing for me, but you messed up so bad that I had to call you out. So I think that podcast bit just makes absolutely no sense to me, because it's just just because you do nice things for people doesn't mean they owe you for the rest of their lives. And if you're going to hold something over someone's head forever, just don't do that nice thing, because it just doesn't make sense. So I just think it's kind of it's giving me weird vibes, okay? But to Gabbie Hanna. But before we get into Gabbie Hanna, today's video is very kindly sponsored by Adam and Eve, who are offering you guys 50% off one item of free shipping to the US and Canada if you use code Angelika at checkout. They have 24/7 customer service, 90-day no-hassle returns, discreet packaging. They've been in business for over 50 years. And like I said, if you guys want 50% off one item of free shipping to the US and Canada, some exclusions apply, use code Angelika at checkout. So let's get into Gabbie Hanna. Gabbie Hanna's recently been doing just a lot of weird stuff. She's kind of back on the internet, kind of not. This is obviously coming after she deleted all of her videos on all of her channels, blacked out some of her channels, basically got rid of her podcast, and is now just posting really random things on all of her channels. It's very confusing to say which one's which at this point. It's just so confusing. She also did that interview that I spoke about the other day on Red Table Talk. She was talking about cancel culture. She got called out by Paris Hilton for being a hypocrite, which Paris Hilton is not a great person, arguably. But a broken clock is right twice a day. So he called her out for hypocrisy, which I heavily agreed with. I think she's a huge hypocrite when it comes to cancel culture and all things like that. And then since then, she's been posting really weird stuff on the internet. So there are a few TikToks that I'm going to play for you guys. One of them, this all started because she's got a big crush on Pete Davidson. And she basically just made some TikToks about how he should leave Kim Kardashian for her because of the Kim Kardashian-Pete Davidson rumors.
In this video, I'll be listing all of the reasons that I believe I deserve the honor of being Pete Davidson's next girlfriend, respectfully, of course, working under the assumption that his relationship with Kim Kardashian is actually a front to distract from the Travis Scott concert. Reason number one, I saw him first. I've been crushing on Pete since 2015, before it was trendy too, before Ariana Grande started dating him, but he had a girlfriend at the time, but he was my attainable celebrity crush, or so I thought, until he started dating literally every A-list celebrity. Reason number 2, not only are we both pretty mentally ill, but we also both had extreme public mental breakdowns, which I know we're not supposed to romanticize mental illness, but it's a little bit romantic, don't you think? Reason number 3, we're both a fan of the Kardashians. Reason number 4, I'm ready to leave LA, so it won't have to be long distance. I will come to you, no commute necessary. Reason number 5, we both hate social media. So PD, if this video somehow found its way on your radar, I encourage you, stop reaching for the stars and reach down to a washed up like me.
And she says it's basically a PR stunt because of Travis Scott's scandal and that Pete Davidson should just leave Kim for her. And she makes a few TikToks about that. Then we have Logan Paul, who I needed to catch up on. So basically he bought some Game Boys on the internet. He got them on like auction on eBay. I believe he got 15 of them. Didn't really state whether they work or not. And he made some resin art with them. He basically made like a slab out of resin, which he dunked the Game Boys into. And he added some other decorations and it like lights up. And it's basically a piece of art, I guess you could say, that lights up and it's got like the Game Boy stuff on it. Game Boy stuff on it. It's got the Game Boys in it. I don't know why. Don't know what happened to my language there. Basically, the Game Boys are in the resin and it's like an art piece. And then he posted that on the internet. And you'd think this is a very innocent thing. Like he's just made art out of Game Boys. And everyone was having a go at him. And like personally, I don't understand why. Someone can enlighten me. Sure, go ahead. I just don't think this is something that someone needs to be cancelled for or even called out for or even this doesn't even need to be acknowledged. So basically people are having a go at him being like, these Game Boys could have been fixed if they're broken, or if they are not broken, someone could have used them and bought them and you wasted them and put them into art. It's like, imagine if you called everything a waste that is like turned into art. Like, oh, someone else could have bought this paint and used it instead of you. It's like, it's a DIY project, yeah? He's allowed to do that as well. He put a bid on an item on eBay that ended up being the highest bid. So therefore he got the product and then he was able to do whatever he wants with the product because he already paid for it. I never really understand the whole like, someone bought a product and they did something with it that you didn't like. So you're now having a go at them even though they paid for the product with their own money. So they're allowed to do whatever they want with it because they paid for it and it's now theirs. Like it belongs to them. Anyway, people are just having a go at him. I didn't really understand it. I don't understand the issue. But now we also have a different thing about bidding and children toys for adults. Recently, Logan Paul bought a 3.5 million Pokemon card deck, like, and apparently it's fake. Apparently he got scammed, and it's not the first time he got scammed, so allegedly he also hasn't been paid for the Floyd Mayweather fight. So he's waiting for his Floyd payment for the fight, which was supposed to be a huge payout for him. He also just got scammed for 3.5 million on this fake Pokemon deck. And he's being called out for making some DIY projects. Just some, arts and crafts. He's just making some arts and crafts and he's being cancelled for it. I'm just really confused about the state of the internet right now. Another thing, Landon McBroom called out for stealing NFTs. Because I know NFTs, he says pieces of art that everyone is selling that don't actually physically exist. They're not like tangible goods. They're like online goods. That's the easiest way to explain NFTs to people that don't know what they are. Online goods. People are buying them for a lot of money, millions, hundreds of thousands. And Landon put a picture of the NFT that kind of he liked as his profile picture on Twitter, which you're technically not allowed to do if you didn't buy it because it's not yours. And only people that buy NFTs use them as their like profile pictures, like a thing. It's like a little flex now. And the person who owns the NFT actually tweeted at Landon and was like, yo, you're stealing my NFT. And then Landon tried to prove that he actually bought the NFT, but then people that know a lot about NFTs behind the scenes and like this Twitter page that is an expert on NFTs and all things NFTs basically started tweeting about how Landon did not buy this NFT and he does not own it and he probably doesn't have enough money to buy it. So it's just a bit embarrassing for Landon, with everything going on. And do you guys remember the like fake flexing that he did where he would find pictures on Pinterest or Google and put them on his Instagram stories as if that was actually him, like with like private jets and Birkins. So now to be stealing an NFT from someone and using it as his profile picture to flex on kids while also not having that NFT just adds another sprinkle on top into who he is and who that family is as a whole. The McBrooms. Ladies and gents, here they are. Anyway, that's it for today's video. If you guys enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up, comment down below, anything to comment down below, and subscribe to post videos every time something happens. So hit that bell, you'll be notified when that's happening. Social media links, any of the links in the description. I'll see you in my next one. Bye guys.